Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Skeshbook podcast, the number one art podcast in the Milky Way galaxy. And today we're going to talk about the top 5 lessons that we've learned or we want to remind ourselves of, or I've learned, and Praveen here has probably learned, in 2021. Right?
Yes.
I've got the year right?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into the podcast.
Are from mostly the last podcast for 2021.
Yes.
Right?
This is going to be the last podcast.
What episode are we in? Does
I don't know, 30?
30, I guess.
No, 25, 26.
28 or 29.
28 or 20.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right.
Not bad. I think I started this podcast in 2018. Long-term consistency. I mean, it's not like something. I get a lot of messages from people who are like, oh, man, I listen to your podcast. It's sort of nice. And they do it while they're drawing. So
Yeah.
nice.
People text me too.
Yeah?
That's
They
pretty
text
cool.
you?
Yeah, they're like, it's the
Praveen,
best.
I've seen you on the podcast, man. Well, why you keep talking, man? Why
Yeah.
you keep laughing?
Yeah, didn't get that, but I was thinking I would, but they didn't.
I think that's one of the complaints. Like, we laugh a lot.
Yeah, I've
I
kind
know,
of felt that.
It's like, it's not a complaint. It's like we laugh over what we are saying, so people are not getting what we're saying.
Right. Like, what was this joke? Say the joke first.
So yeah, anyways.
Got it. I'll note it down.
Note it
One
down.
of my lessons from 2021.
2021. Don't laugh too much. That's a sad lesson right
It
there.
is.
Anyways, before we start, right, a
Yeah.
quick shout out to Drawing Camp.
Yes, our
Because we're-
sponsor
Yeah,
for this
sponsor
podcast.
for the podcast, because we're closing down enrollments in Jan 6th of 2022. Again, I'm so weird with the years. It's like last time I like put up a story saying like, hey guys, what have we learned in 2020? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah. Cash, it's 2021.
No, this is what I did. I said, guys, 2020 is about to, is going to end. What have you learned this year? And then people like, you need to learn to get
That
your
it's
years
2021
right.
first.
Yeah, it's 2021. That was like very embarrassing. Oh, damn. Anyways, yeah.
So we'll get the date right. So it's actually closing on?
Jan 6, 2022.
Okay,
Right?
cool.
It's closing then, and we'll be opening up God knows when, because we're going to be working on a more secret project. You know what
Great,
that thing
yeah.
is. So, not a secret project. I need to stop hyping things up. Right?
Yeah.
Like, guys, it's
Too much expectations
yeah,
too.
right? Yeah. See, when I went to watch the Captain America 2 movie,
No,
right? What is that? Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
There's so much hype around it. I like went to everyone's like, damn, this is like the best MCU movie ever made. And I went in, I was like completely like, this was not that good at all. Right? So we're like working on a very lackluster project once we are done with enrollments of Drawing Camp. And then once we are like about to launch the project, then we'll open up Drawing Camp for a very short amount of time, because we want to focus on like people who are already in the program and try and help things, because it's too chaotic, because there's over 30,000 students already, and it's
Yeah. Congrats on that. That's a good milestone
that's
for
a good
2021.
milestone. That's a good problem to have.
Yes.
So to clarify, right, we have around about 3,000 or 4,000 students in the paid program, and about 20. What's the minus part? 25,000 people.
Oh God, I'm bad at
Yeah,
math.
25,000 people on the free courses that we have on the program. So if you want to just enroll into the free course as well, that's also something that you can do.
It's pretty cool.
Anyways, let's get into the lessons, huh?
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about what you learned in
Yeah.
2021. Well, we learned.
Five lessons.
5 lessons.
We have a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like lesson 0, before I even get into like the lessons that I've learned, lesson 0 is this, right? I keep doing this thing every year where I like, say, here are the lessons that I've learned every year.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, it's not like I've learned those lessons.
You just went through them and then you just
Went
didn't
through them.
learn.
Yes, I'm still learning them, and I'm basically making this podcast so that I can keep myself reminding of those lessons,
yeah.
because I still struggle with the lessons.
So you're saying some of the lessons were actually lessons from the past year as well?
Yeah, sort of like it has evolved in a bit, because I've slightly gotten better at the lesson.
The solution or the problem?
I've gotten better coming up with solutions for the problem.
The problem just got bigger the next
The problem is still there. It's not going away.
Got it.
This is why you don't listen to a bunch of 20-year-olds on the internet. Anyways, want to start or I'll
Yes. Actually, you go ahead. I'm kind of interested. You have a lot there, man. Holy God. The entire book or just that page?
This is my rough note, actually. This is where I write my stuff. All my random thoughts. I'll get into this later. Anyways. The first lesson is this, right? Overthinking will kill you, and you are not what you think you are.
No? Okay.
Right? So what I mean by this is, even today, I was talking to my mom and she was like, man, I'm a confused person and you're like way worse than I am.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, she said that. And she's right, because I think way too bloody much. And that's probably because I'm sort of neurotic by nature.
Okay.
And because of that, I'm not making decisions as fast as I could. And sometimes in order to compensate overthinking, I go on the other extreme end, which is like don't think at all and just do everything at speed.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right.
So I need to find a middle ground. Right? That is the thing. And another thing, right? The second part of this lesson is you are not what you think you are. What I basically mean by that is all the stories that are going inside my head. So I have these lots of stories going on inside my head. Who I think I should be, who I am. And also a lot of things that my brain is throwing at me, which I feel it's not me, because I've identified so much with my thoughts.
Okay.
That I thought that if I think something not good, that means I'm not good.
Huh.
Right? Because I have so much personal identification with my thoughts, which I'm trying to break that.
So like overthinking is a problem.
Overthinking is a problem. Overthinking is a big problem. And I'll also, you know what? Let's like talk about these things. Also, maybe we'll discuss solutions as to like what can we do
Sure.
or what we're doing. Right now, I've gotten back into meditation.
Oh.
Right?
Yoga. Complete yoga or just meditate?
No, just meditating. Sitting down every morning, doing a 10-minute meditation. I use this app called Waking Up. Yeah. I mean, I used to meditate a lot in 2016, right? Like, I meditated every single day without fail for like 8 months or so, then simply stopped. I don't know why.
Oh.
Then I tried to get back into it for like since then. And I
now
couldn't
you're
do
back
it.
at it?
Yeah, now I'm back at it in a way that I finally found that it's not about forming a habit. It's not about doing a 30-day meditation challenge. It's not about this or that. I've realized that the thing that you want to build, you just make it as a non-negotiable. Right. Meaning it's who I am. Right? I wake up, I meditate. Like I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Right? So I do that thing.
Yeah, you don't want meditation to be stressful. I
Yes,
think that's
exactly. That's what I was trying to do. It's like I'm gonna sit now, meditate, maybe even levitate while I'm at it. Right?
What's the longest you've meditated? Just to know.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
20 minutes.
Longest you've gone.
20 minutes.
Really?
I can't sit more than that.
Okay.
In one place with my own thoughts. Are you kidding me? You know that movie, The Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, I haven't watched that. I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's a classic. I mean, if they sleep, that ghost, Jason or Freddy Krueger. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jason is the other thing. Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So many bloody movies. When they sleep, this thing comes around and kills them in their sleep. So therefore, they don't sleep.
Oh.
Right. So that I can't meditate for too long. Then I'll be left alone with my thoughts.
Oh, okay.
That's not a good sign. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've become slightly more comfortable with them.
No, okay. So is it helping though? Is it helping you overcome overthinking?
Nah. One of the things I've tried to do with meditation is like, I felt good, therefore I'm going to meditate, or it's going to help me with my overthinking, therefore I'm going to meditate. What I'm trying to do is build a skill. Like I'm trying to build my skill of learning to draw. I'm trying to build the skill of learning to focus.
Okay.
Right? Like I can sit and focus on one thing for a while without being distracted too much. Right? That is the skill that I'm trying to do. And because of doing that, it's like, okay, all these other bonus side effects are sort of coming. Right? Like I don't have to overthink. And I mean, it's not like I'm way better right now. It's like slightly better right now. Yeah. Right? So something like that. So what is your lesson? What's your first lesson?
My first lesson. All right. I've written a few things down here.
Okay.
So-
you didn't prioritize.
No, not
Maybe
really.
that should be your first lesson.
Yeah, actually. Well, one of the things. Actually, man, this year was kind of confusing for me.
Oh yeah.
Everything that
Why
worked
so?
all these years
Mhm.
did not work for me. Everything that worked, every positive side that I had,
Okay.
just flipped.
What do you mean?
And every negative thing I had. So basically, the first lesson that I think that I will hold on to is
Mhm.
to do what you need than what is right. To phrase it like the most. Sometimes you know what the right thing to do is.
Okay.
I don't know why it's some experiment.
Great power.
But with great power comes
Great responsibility.
But then you know, it's more like self-care, I think.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I think you can relate. Like, okay, let's say.
Well,
you wanna
I
take-
still don't understand what you mean. I can't relate to it yet. What do
Alright,
you
so
mean?
basically, sometimes you know what the right thing to do is. Let's say you want to be consistent on YouTube. Not just giving like a simple example,
Right.
but then you know that a break
Okay.
will actually help you be better when you come back. Yeah. So that's what.
No,
to be honest-
YouTube. What was that thing with that?
So YouTube, let's say the right thing to do on YouTube, at least even you say it a lot, right? You want to be consistent on it,
Mhm.
but then sometimes you know taking a break is what you need. You know, it's a
Right.
small example, but more in, even in
Right.
like personal life aspects. A lot of things when you know something, this is the right thing to do, but no, you know what? I kind of want to take my own path on this,
Right.
just so I can feel better.
Yeah.
That was my lesson, to be honest. The one thing that I will hold on to, because I realized once I did that, or like taking a break from YouTube, let's just say that I actually am taking a break from like singing and everything. Right
yeah?
now, I'm not posting anything. Right now, I'm not putting in efforts.
Uh-huh.
Just so later on, when I'm actually excited and I do the right thing,
Mhm.
I'll know that I'm doing it because I want to. It feels more like, oh, I'm doing the right thing than doing the right thing. You know what I mean?
I
In
think I
quotes.
sort of got it. Got
You don't relate to that?
No, I do relate to that. I think you need to phrase it better. No, I get it. I get it. You know, it's not about doing the right thing. It's the thing that you want to do versus the thing that you need to do, or maybe something like that. I don't know. I think I'm wrong.
No, actually, sometimes. Well, let's say you might. All right. How about this? You want to do a personal project,
Right.
and then you have this client's work,
Okay.
and you're at a situation where you have to do the personal project,
Uh-huh.
not because of criteria or anything,
Yeah, yeah.
just so you can start feeling as an artist again or something like
Right.
that. Right. So you drop that client's project, though you had promises and stakes to hold on
yeah.
to.
No, I get it. Let's see. Doing the thing that you want versus doing the thing that you should.
That's yes, yeah,
Shoulds versus wants.
yeah,
Right?
Maybe.
Something like that.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I can relate to that.
That was my lesson, to be honest. That was the first
So
thing.
so how are you putting that in like a practical way?
How am I doing it? Like
Yeah.
the solution?
Oh, so you've taken break from music.
Yeah, I have. I actually just, to be honest, just to be okay with letting things go and to be okay with failing. I wanted to put out a song, by this month, and then I was like,
Right.
that I don't know. Later on, it just started stressing me out, and that started impacting me on every single thing. To just let that go and be like, it's fine. Take your break. Don't sing. You know what? It's okay. Don't do music. You're gonna lose your engagement on social media. It's fine. Go ahead. Take your break. Come back. Be happy with what you do at the end of the day. And I feel like that's good. And the other day I was just posting a few stories where I was just singing, not because I wanted anything, but just so I did it.
Right.
And even the smallest of engagement had more meaning to it. Than just a lot of people looking at it. The 10 people who looked at it actually knew that that meant something. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Pretty
it's
complicated.
So sort of reminds me of the time when I decided I'm gonna quit drawing.
Right.
Right. I said I'll quit drawing in 2015 when I had a job. Then I was like, it was too much to balance two things.
Oh, okay.
It's literally in the same situation except with drawing.
Right.
And realized that I had too much pressure to make drawings because I had some little followers that I had to sort of
Right.
please or send this off to. Then when I said I'm going to quit this thing, then it gave me like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to make crappy drawings, right? Then when I allowed myself to do that, I started making actually good drawings on some days, and sort of bad drawings on some days, and mediocre drawings on the other days. Then it slowly, eventually allowed me to get better at my craft without investing way too much time into it, while being consistent at it without the pressure.
Right.
Just
because you could you were okay with letting it go, right?
Yes, I was okay with letting it go, and weirdly, yes.
So the fact that you were okay with letting it go, so you were like, it's fine, I'll just do one drawing later. You were comfortable enough to do that. It didn't feel like stress. I think, that's the point I was trying to make.
That is interesting. That is interesting. Okay. All right. I'll go on to my second one now. There is no perfect path. Now, what do I mean by this? Is this, right? So I'm a confused person.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? No, I'm not a confused person, right?
You are.
No. I am confused sometimes. That doesn't mean that I am a confused person. I'm trying to do this lately. I've stopped trying to say things that are attacking my identity. Oh, I am confused. Oh, I am lazy. Oh, I procrastinate a lot. Even though I do those things, it's actually a result of a habit rather than a result of my being.
Right.
I do
sort of
those
like
things.
Self-love kind of thing?
Not that.
Not that.
I
love myself.
Not that crap.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You need to love yourself. The way you love other people, though. You need to have boundaries with yourself as well. I didn't even know.
Okay.
Just go into a very
Moving
deep
on.
place. The thing is this, right? So thing is this. I'm trying to stop saying things that it's not me. It's just because it's like identity.
Okay.
Like,
like you're going through something bad and you're like, okay, this is
actually I'll give you an example, which is okay. We're like going off the lesson number 2, but anyways, fine. Like I used to say that I'm not good with people's names, or I'm not good with math. Right. Turns out I'm actually fine with math. I was actually above average at math. Right. It's because I keep saying that I'm not good with names or I'm not good with math. I'm just giving myself more excuses to be actually worse than I am right? Yeah. And I'm attaching this identity to me that, hey, I'm not good at math. Therefore, even if something that's remotely within my capabilities of understanding comes my way, a mathematical thing, I don't even make an effort to understand that.
Right.
Because, I'm the kind of person who doesn't understand math. So anyways, I've stopped saying those things. I'm not a confused person. I'm confused a lot. That's the point. Right. So the reason why I'm saying this is like I solution hop a lot, right? I make a decision, I have a solution, then I hop around. I choose a workout program, then I hop onto another one in a week's time.
The entire team is just nodding yes.
Yes.
That is right. That's so true.
I make a decision in business, then I jump into another one.
Right.
Turns out there is a lot of cost to jumping around, right? I've realized that. Don't you dare laugh at me.
Just holding back so many thoughts.
I don't know. See, so the thing was, I was aware of it for like more than a year and a half to 2 years right now. And I thought training myself to sticking with something for like a while will help me do that. Yes, it will, but I wasn't addressing the underlying issue underneath that. I hopped on from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing because I had an underlying belief in myself which said that there is a perfect solution that will solve all your problems. Unless you find that, you need to keep on hopping.
Right.
Then I realized that there is no perfect path. There is no perfect solution. Like we were talking about the video strategy for YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I realized it's not a perfect thing,
right?
But it is a thing. It will come with that solution comes other problems, right? It's about like not choosing what's the perfect solution is rather you're choosing what problem can you deal with most, because each solution comes with its own sets of problems. Right. So what problem are you willing to handle? has been my shift in my thing. So I used to have this thing like, what passion, what should I follow, right? Drawing or filmmaking. Okay, it's like with each of it comes its own sets of problems that I need to deal with, right? So therefore I need to pick a solution where I'm able to sort of satisfy certain needs that I want. I want to do a bit of this, I want to do a bit of that. I don't want to do 10,000 things. That's another thing, right? So once I change that belief, thinking that, okay, there is no perfect solution, and I will never be able to solve this hopping problem, right? Because everybody hops from one solution to another thing. It's just that the time frame for different people are, it's different. Some people change within a week. Some people will take them 6 months to change. Some people will take like 2 months, or some people will take years to change. Right? It's about knowing that it's about having the flexibility at the same time, increasing the time span within which I hop on from one thing to another thing. So that's why I gave us a time frame for our experiment, which we were discussing about the podcast, right? We're doing a video experiment. Okay, we will give ourselves a time frame. With that thing, it's not a perfect solution, but it solves a particular problem, and it's going to give us more problems to deal with, right? We'll either ignore that problem or we'll just deal with it. But we're going to do it within this time frame. And after the end of that time frame, we're going to see, okay, did this work? Did this not work? Okay, what went well? What didn't go well? We'll just take what went well. We'll try to, take it into our new solution, or like an updated version of our existing solution. Or we'll chuck this thing, try another one.
Yeah, that is so true. I've thought about that so many times. And I have a problem with books.
You have a problem with books?
Self-help books. I've told people so many times, I don't know, like people like...
You can't read it?
I can't read it, and that's the thing. It feels like... It just feels so stupid. It's like those online courses that are like, hey, get this course, you'll be rich.
I think that's a stupid course. No. There are lots of people who make good things, but market it in such a way it seems scammy.
Yeah, like it just feels like exactly that. The way they market it, it's like everything you need to know, like to get rich, right? It's here.
It's in here.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel, or even just reading books. I feel like everybody faces problems, and they just have to find solutions their own way in order for the solution to work. If I take the solution that's working for you and I just apply it online, it doesn't. It just doesn't make sense.
No. I get that. I used to try to look at other people and see what problems that they're facing and see what they've done. Slowly over time, I realized that I need to find my own solution to the own problem. I can take inspiration from them, right? But for my thing, I need to find my own solutions. So
that's the thing about that. The solution that you might find might have been the same solution as yours, but the time you find it and the maturity you have and the way you comprehend it, right? It has a huge impact on the way you handle it or the way you apply that solution to your problem. So just reading something or just taking someone else's solution, just applying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bookish knowledge versus experiential wisdom.
Yeah.
That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is something maybe in my definition, in my dictionary, knowledge is something it's information. It's like having an article or like a book in your head. But wisdom is like having applied that thing and knowing what are the ins and outs. Right? It's like driving. You can learn as much as about driving by reading a book, but unless you drive, you don't know what's on the street. When the car comes and cuts you off, there's a guy who's all of a sudden falls in front of you and I told you that incident, right? Some guy with a cycle, I was standing in the signal, literally standing. He just came, he just fell down. He didn't even hit my car, he just fell down. Then he was so mad, he just parked his cycle in front of my car and it's he's like, bro, you didn't even touch me and I wasn't even moving.
This happened to you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people can't relate to that. They're from different countries. This only happens a lot in India. Guy comes and falls in front of your car.
In front of your car for no reason. The worst part is he didn't even touch my car And I was standing in the signal for a while right now.
You weren't even moving.
I wasn't even moving. I was just there. I was just there. Oh, anyways.
Oh man. So yeah. So not having, there is no right path.
There is no right path. Yeah. I forgot totally what.
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of brought that back.
No. I forgot whether we are discussing my lesson or your lesson now. Yeah, there is no right path, and there is like a decent path. You just pick one and make it right, or make it sort of right. Yeah, it's not even like you'll make it completely right.
Yeah, because
Make it
that's another right
That's
path.
another problem. Yeah, it's like, oh, I need to make this work. Yeah, it'll work. Maybe not to the best of that thing that you're expecting it to work. Sort of that. What kind of English was that? Right. So, but yeah, you get the point. That is the thing. That is the second lesson. What's yours? Yeah. All right.
The second thing, I call this the 5 factors.
Okay.
It's basically, it kind of goes with your one step at a time, take it slow, stuff like that. So
English.
Learn English. That's my second.
Yeah, go on.
So, you know how, like, I'm pretty sure, like, we always try to battle with 2 things, or like 3 things, or 4. There's always multiple things in our plate. And then I've always tried to balance it out, like work-life balance, or like music and my work. Or there's so many other things. Sometimes it feels like you need to sit down and just see what's actually bothering you. Like for me, the 5 factors were 1. Okay, I wanna go do music.
Okay.
And I wanna make more relationships. I wanna make more friends. I wanna go out more. I wanna travel more. And the 5th one is I wanna be financially independent.
Right.
The 5th one is actually blocking me from the rest of the 4. So for me to take time and actually sit down and be like, that's the one thing that's actually like preventing me from doing the rest of the 4. The rest of the 4, I can balance it out. But this one thing, I need to actually fix that. Actually put the rest of the 4 aside, fix that first, and then find the balance later on for the rest of the 4. That you can pull off. But with this in the plate, that you can't. It's going to be hard.
You're like picking one thing out of your 5 important things that you're pursuing and focusing on that.
On that one thing first.
That is such a good thing, because I'll tell you why. Which is I used to have this whole work-life balance thing that I wanted to always keep on going. Right now, okay, and I'll not get into that. Anyways, the point with the thing which I learned was, right, it's not work-life balance, it's work-life counterbalance.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Right? We spoke about this before, right? I have the book, what is that one thing by Gary Keller? It's like you need to make certain sacrifices while you're pursuing. It's not like you're not going to have everything in your life completely balanced 99% of the time and be super successful at every single thing that you do. You need to, if you're off at work for 10 hours a day trying to build a new business, or 12 hours a day trying to build a new business, your other parts of life might fall down, and you need to be aware of the sacrifices that you're making and make them voluntarily, rather than just, oh God, okay, I don't know what to do right now, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's good to have work life. I'm not saying one shouldn't have their sense of balance, because but the thing is, that sense of balance actually differs from person to person, right? And even on that thing, right? So what you're saying is you're dropping, or you're putting other things on pause so that you can pull this rope up.
Fix that one thing that you can't find imbalance about. That the one thing that's actually creating an imbalance on the rest of your factors.
I'm losing you. So you're trying to create a balance within that one thing, or I don't understand.
What are the 5 things that you really want to do, or like 4 or 3?
All right, draw.
Right.
Have a good family life, work out, eat well, and like build something that's nice in terms of work and business.
Right. So all these 5 things, right? You can actually create a balance. It's just about you getting better at time management and a bunch of other factors.
Right, choosing which to work on and when. Yes.
Sometimes your personal life could be at a state where it's creating an imbalance on the rest of the 4 factors. So you trying to create a balance and still trying to like maintain this balance and still do all the 5 factors. I feel like sometimes you should just realize that, hey, we're in a pickle right now.
Yeah, we need to drop the other things.
Yeah, drop the other things, fix this first, and then you can find a balance.
That's a sign of maturity. Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the Peter Pan story. Ever talked about the Peter Pan story?
No.
Oh no, it's like a boy becomes a man when he starts becoming Peter Pan, which is Peter Pan. Pan means everything. Pan means, I think it's Greek or Latin, I don't know what.
Okay.
Pan means everything, being everything. The story of Peter Pan, if you look at it from the Disney-esque way, it's like, oh, it's a boy who's having fun all day. He's got fairies around him, then he's got a cool villain named Captain Hook chasing him and all that stuff, and he's got a girl named Wendy, right? If you look at it from a realistic life way, Peter Pan is a boy who failed to grow up.
Right.
Who lives in Neverland, which doesn't exist,
Right.
and he is the king of lost boys, who are basically a bunch of kids,
Yeah.
right? And he's in a his only sensible thing that he could be doing, he's like seeking impulsive pleasure every single day without adopting any sort of responsibility, because he doesn't want to grow up. Because part of growing up means you have to make and pick your sacrifice. You need to pick and make your sacrifice.
Right.
In the sense, you have so many passions or so many things that you want to do, but you can't do all of them at the same time. And a lot of people will tell you that you can. Right? There's a book called How to Be Everything. As I read that book, I was like, yeah, this is good. It's a neat book. But I looked at the author, and it's like, what are you? Right? You're so many things, but what are you? Right? I'm not putting that as a criticism, but it's like you're everything. And you're nothing.
Right.
Right? You're everything, but you're literally nothing. It's not like a thing that you're good at. It's not. I'm saying this is the whole generalist with specialist thing, but that's not the debate that I'm trying to get into. It's like this. Once you make a sacrifice, like Peter Pan refuses to make a sacrifice, so therefore he grows up, and his only real relationship in his world is like Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell or Twinklerbell? Wendy is a friend.
Oh, okay.
Tinkerbell is the pixie fairy thing,
Right.
girl thing,
Right.
right? That's his only, and a bunch of kids, right? So he fails to grow up, and the whole Peter Pan story, if you look at it in a way that he's scared of growing up because his only example of a grown-up adult is Captain Hook. You can't blame him all the time as well, right? Captain Hook, he's got a hook.
Right.
Right, and he's being chased by a crocodile, and why the hell do you want to grow up and be chased by a crocodile?
Right.
The thing is, if you don't do that, you will be chased by a different crocodile. That's it. Time will be a crocodile.
Right.
Right? You'll be a grown-up 37-year-old man-child.
All right.
And this is very opinionated, and I get that. Because I've seen people like that, and I've lived with people like that. Like I've seen man-childs, and I know how they react and how they act and how miserable they are in their day-to-day lives, because they failed to make a decision at a point in time that you learn, which is I'm going to put other things on pause. I'm going to do this one thing, get better at this one thing. And that's what I learned too. Like I dropped everything to do drawing camp, right? Almost. And then I realized that once you do this one thing, you get better at this one thing, and all of a sudden other new opportunities sort of open up. Right? Because of working on certain projects, I was able to create financial independence, and because of financial independence, I was able to work with you guys. And because of me working with you guys, I'm able to do the things that I was not doing way faster, way better. Right? Without sacrificing much time. Right? Yeah. And all of that is because I sacrificed for a small period of time.
Yeah. Sure.
Right?
That's exactly it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's a good lesson right there.
Yeah.
That's
that's exactly what I learned, and I think that I will hold on to it for.
So you're focusing on now financial independence.
Yeah. I figured that I'm never going to be able to peacefully do music or the rest of the 4 factors unless I fix this one thing. So rather than me finishing work and going home and or doing music so that I have this balance, rather take 6 months of time, take a break, finish this whole at least take it to a point where it's not a problem financially.
Hmm.
Get it to that, and then find that balance, and then I can go home and do music. Right now, I see the need for a second job.
Okay.
If not right now, I think now I'm fine. But back then,
Oh boy, it was like, oh wait, what?
second job as in like part time. Like I've finished this, and
uh-huh.
rather than going home and creating this balance with music,
Because you want to make more.
make more money
Uh-huh.
for the next 6 months, save up,
Right.
and then find that balance.
You want to start your own little business.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Don't want to talk about it
Don't
yet.
wanna talk about it.
I don't think. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my second.
Third lesson.
Right.
My lesson is learn to say no.
Okay.
Learn to say no for even the littlest of things. One on a face level, one on a deep philosophical level is
Okay.
what I'm thinking. Right? Most people who we think, let's start with the deep philosophical level because
Sure.
I like that part. Most people who we see as villains and bad people,
Mm-hmm.
right, or people or seemingly good people doing bad things,
Mm-hmm.
are people who fail to say no at the right time or at the time when they were given a chance to say no because they were too nice or because they were too agreeable. Right? When that thing that came, it was a little thing. It slightly goes slightly outside your morality and your ethics. But what you do is you say, instead of saying no, I'm not going to do this. It's only going slightly outside. It's like telling a little lie. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to call my friend. I'm going to. He's inviting me for something. I'm just going to lie that I'm not. Hey, I couldn't make it because I'm going to make up this random situation. I went there and this happened. You're slightly, what you're doing is you're slightly bending your morality and ethics, which is fine. Some people can do that. But the thing that I'm trying to say is that the point is, like when you don't say no at the right time, in right point, what happens is slowly it creeps up into like larger and larger and larger things where you don't say no to, and the bigger things will be like a clear thing that's outside your scope of morality, like what's right and what's wrong. You'll be like in the clear area of wrong, but you wouldn't be saying no because you didn't practice saying no all this time. Right? You were saying yes all this while, and you said yes to that as well.
Wow.
It's so. It reminded me because there came an investment opportunity for me. Then I was looking at that thing, and I was like, it went outside my principles and the way I do business. Right? It was like taking a huge step, like sort of like a gamble. Right? I don't like to gamble. I like to take calculated risks, and even if I fail, I was like, yeah, fine. Yeah. Right? So I looked at that and it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Right? Or no. Because, man, it's slowly lending money. That's another thing. Like, you lend certain people money. They have a habit of asking money.
Right.
Lend is like, give this much. Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, fine, I'll take it. Then then they'll ask for more. Then they'll ask for even more, and then more, and then more. It keeps on going. At one point in time, it's better to actually easier to say no at the very start rather than the very end. And also, sort of in a normal practical way, similar to what you said before, which is, I think I pretty much discussed what I wanted to discuss in that previously, which is you had 5 things. You're saying no to 4 things so that you can say yes or hell yes to one thing. Right? And that is something that I've been thinking because we've been doing too many things, too many projects. Right? And even this morning I told you, right? Like with our new video thing, we'll say yes to this one thing, we'll make that good rather than say sort of yes to a lot of things and do like a half-baked job at it. Right? So learning to say no is a very important thing. And it starts very little. The story is this, right? There were these really nice German soldiers.
No. Okay.
Right? There were these really nice German policemen. Like normal people, families, kids,
Right.
I just went there.
We were watching the Inglorious Bastards.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you said that, I just
good. You're in the
So
right
Brad
frame
Pitt.
of mind then. To think about it. So the difference. Okay. So there were these people. They were doing these normal things and normal stuff, and all of a sudden, fast forward like a year or a couple of years later, they're out there on the streets killing pregnant women, right?
Right.
Murdering other people, right? Under the Nazi regime,
Right.
right? So how come these seemingly nice people do these worse, extremely cruel things?
Yeah.
Right? Because they failed to say no when an ideology came by that was ethically wrong, but they
Right.
failed to see it. They says like, I'm gonna make a slight little bend right here. Fine, I'm gonna do this right here. And slowly what happens is you start reasoning the wrong things. Or reason with the wrong, try to come up with a good reason for the wrong things. Right? So that's when I sort of realized like the difference between like quote unquote good people and quote unquote bad people are not like two things. It's like one chose to say no, one chose to say yes, and everybody has capacity for good and everybody has capacity for evil, right? It's just that you need to choose which one is what.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, that's the lesson.
You were right. I have a point about that, but I actually noted that down to the end because that's one thing that's like 80% done in this year, and I'm still not okay with that one lesson. So we'll talk about that in the end.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but cool. I think. But how are you doing in that whole aspect of saying no?
Thing?
Yes.
Well, just say no.
Are you doing good? Are you like?
Oh, am I doing good? Yeah, actually, yeah. You know, it's like even like this. It's like saying no to that late night snacks. It's as little as that actually.
That's the tip of the mountain. You can't. Yeah. That's the final challenge.
Saying no to that late night chocolate cake that we were about to order yesterday.
Last night.
Saying no to short-term comfort, right? It's like this every single morning. I wake up, I brush my teeth. When I'm like about to meditate, it's like, boy, I just want to go downstairs and get my green tea or coffee and just relax. Just woke up. Then I say no to that, and I'm like, I'm going to embrace this little short-term discomfort so that I can elevate long-term pain, or elevate, or what that freaking word is, take away long-term pain, right? It's like this little short-term discomfort, because if I say yes to this, I'm going to have like an even worse off pain in the future, which I need to. Right. So instead of putting my pain in front of me and trying to put my pain behind me, I'm sort of better at it. It's not like, I'm so good at it. Sort of better than I used to be.
With people, because that's a challenge.
Saying with people, don't be afraid of hurting someone's feeling or offending someone. Just say no. You say no, right? So it'll be like this. You will be in a situation where you will be asked something, or you will be told something, and you will have and you'll be put in an uncomfortable situation because you will probably know that person, and you feel like you don't want to hurt the feelings of that person. Right?
Yeah.
And what you might do is you probably say yes instead of saying no, right? Or I'll think about it. Yeah, fine. You just like no.
Right.
What you do is you stop there. You put it in a nice way. Hey, you know what? Yeah, it's good that you think this way, or you're offering me this. I'd like to say no. I'm not gonna say yes. I want to say no because I don't think it's right.
That's just pretty hard.
You get better at it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
People are agreeable in nature, right? People are nice to each other.
Yeah.
In front of other people, or right? They're nice to, because they'll stop saying things because they think it might offend the other person. Fine, yeah, sure. Some might. I mean, if it involves you, you better say the thing that you need to say, even if it offends somebody else. But also on that front, I used to be like on that point so much that I just speak everything out loud,
Yeah.
right? Everything is on my mind and just like so upfront,
Yeah.
right? Like that's called being, yeah, you don't want to do that. Rather, you need to choose which battles you want to fight,
Right.
right? There is no point in me explaining what I think about that official who's working in a public sector, right? Who's probably not doing his job,
Yeah.
right? I don't need to think out loud and say my thing and cause an unrest. Am I going to win that battle? Is that battle worth the fight? Right?
Right.
Is that going to bring me anything positive ROI? Right? Like
Right.
anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like a balance. So pick your battles.
Cool.
Pick your battles.
Actually, I think the point is say no more often.
Yeah,
Don't
say
pick your-
no. See, actually, in terms of opportunities, in terms of people who are just starting out, say yes to a lot of things.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was gonna ask that because
Yeah.
most of the times you say yes because you think about the opportunities you might miss because of
Right.
just losing this one thing. You're
Right.
scared. Oh, maybe because of this one thing, I
Uh-huh.
might start losing more. They might not even reach out to me the next time.
Okay.
In any way, right? Maybe going out with a friend or anyone.
Here's a good rule of thumb I just came up with.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a lot of time in your hand? And that means you're just starting out, then say yes to a lot of things. Do you not have a lot of time in your hand? Then that means you'll probably have too many opportunities, then you need to start saying no to things instead of saying yes to things. Right? This is a fine thing. There could be people who are starting out who has absolutely no time in their hand.
I think it depends on why you don't have time.
Yeah.
Right.
For example, when I was going to a job, right? When I had a job, I did not have the time, but I was still saying yes to a lot of things. But I said yes to the right things. So when you say yes to some things, then that means you're saying no to the existing thing that you're doing. So when I said yes to independent business, I said no to my day job, right? Automatically.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So you need to know what you're saying yes to. But good rule of thumb, say a lot of yeses when you're starting out. Say a lot of no's when you're like have too many opportunities.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's what. I think.
That's pretty cool. The last point that you said, right? It's not just verbal no's.
Ah.
It's even like deciding between two things
Two
by
things.
yourself. Sometimes you say
Right,
no to
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Right? That's
yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were trying to say.
Trust me. Like 365 days from now, I'll be like, damn, I'm still bad at this bloody thing. Saying no. No, it's just an insight though. I don't think I've learned this at all. I think the learning starts from now on. It's an insight. I've been slightly better. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
I would like to ask maybe like just to the last thing about that. What's the biggest thing you've said no to?
Biggest thing that I've said no
Yeah.
to?
And also turned out wrong. That would be fun, but that you turned out right.
I said, I'll tell you a couple of things. I said no to a $10,000 project
Why would you do that?
because it wasn't the right thing. It was from a very big PC brand that you have heard of. I said no to it.
Remember my second point? Sometimes you do what you need than what's right.
No, it's good that I did that because I was able to actually focus on drawing camp.
Right, yeah, I get it.
It's making more than just $10,000.
Yeah.
Right? I said no to... I don't think I have this one big epic thing that I said no to. There was like lots of many things.
Is there anything that you said no to now you think like could have said yes?
Well, I need to think about it. Because nothing comes to my mind like when you say that. You say yes to a lot of things. Hence the learning
Maybe you
lesson.
never said
Learn to
no.
say no. I think I should say no to spending a lot of money on useless crap.
No. Okay.
I've gotten better at it. Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Nothing
think I'll be a
else.
good talk show host.
Yeah,
don't you
you might.
Alright.
I'm saying no to side projects, second channels. Saying yes to just the main channel. Once we're done with the drop channel. Yeah.
We didn't know that.
Yeah. Hence the thing. Our talk this morning.
Yeah. But
Right.
cool.
Yeah. So what's your fourth thing?
Fourth.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we have like three more lessons.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah. The last one is pretty much I'm contemplating. I want to just discuss that with you.
All right.
Yeah. So 2 more things. The fourth one is to
Okay.
stop trying to be a creative person
Okay.
and start living like one. So that's
That's a good thing.
yeah.
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 Why would you not do that? That's a good thing.
No, that's a lesson. To
Yeah,
stop-
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing to discuss in that. That's actually a good thing.
Yes.
That's Seth Godin or who said that? Stop being a writer. Go write.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stop being a filmmaker. Go film stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop being an artist. Go make art. Who said that? No, Stephen Pressfield.
Uh-huh.
He wrote a book called The War of Art.
I told you I'm not a huge book person. I have no
You
idea.
should, every creative person should read that book. The
What's
War
the
of
name?
Art. The War of Art. Not The Art of War by Sun Tzu. No, not that book. Don't confuse it. The War comes first of art. Right? The War of Art
The War
by
of
Stephen Pressfield. So he wrote another book called Gates of Fire. I heard it's really good. So he talks about like resistance and how it beats people, how it beats artists into submission.
Ah.
Right. Anyways, I don't know why I got it, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like stop being it's like what Batman said.
Yeah.
Like it's not who you are underneath. It's
Yeah.
what you do that defines you.
Yeah. Did he say that?
Yeah, he
I
said
think
that.
the Joker said it, right?
No. He said that Batman. I think Rachel. Yeah, she said that. Batman said that again.
Oh, wow.
So original, Batman.
So yeah, I kind of I learned that it's like me just sit or even like when you draw, like if you just sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna be creative now, never works. Or does it work for you?
No.
Right. So I feel like most of the times, or even when I'm trying to write a song, if I'm like sitting down and I'm like, I want to write a good song today, it doesn't work. It's like a process for months that keeps on going, like your
yes.
cooker thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's in your head and it keeps processing, and then you write it. It's not like you sat down and you wrote a song because you felt creative that night.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh
It's-
yeah.
That's the thing. A creative person would just do it. He wouldn't try to be creative.
Yeah.
He's just creative about it. He wrote a song and it's creative. He
Right.
didn't write a creative song.
I think
Whereas
the problem is we're trying to be the perfect creative
Yeah.
who makes good things all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
I think it's not about like trying to be a creative person. It's trying to be the perfect creative person.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Maybe.
So the lesson for me was like, okay, stop trying to be creative. Stop,
Right.
sitting down and be like, I want to write a creative song today.
Okay.
Just look at everything and like, I think as soon as I realized that, I just became more observant. And I could just realize that the things that I do, I don't want to be self-complimenting, but the things I do sometimes, I just see that, I'm doing that in a very creative way. Maybe I should focus on that even more.
As a result of you engaging yourself in a process.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to focus on the goal, you focused on the system of writing or creating or making a song.
Uh-huh.
And therefore you're able to sometimes create good work. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's bad.
It's just that after that, everything that I did, it was just creative, but then I could choose out of that. I had more options and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's just, stop trying to be creative. It's just, I don't think that works. I don't know how to put it, but
I don't know. Yeah, there's so much nuance. The thing with advice is it shouldn't be an ultimatum. Right? You can't apply all advice everywhere at every. I used to try and do that. Oh, this advice. Oh, then this must be the advice for the other problem that I have. So like, no, it's a different advice, right? It's like, for me. I mean, I had to start becoming a meditator in order to meditate. You get the point? It's
Yeah.
like I had to embrace the idea, the identity of being a meditator. Right?
Okay.
James Clear, in the Atomic Habits author, he talks about like identity-based habits. Like the identity comes, then comes the habit. Right? So I used to think like, when I was in college, I used to eat fairly well, way better than I eat right now. Right? Like, and I used to ask myself, okay, why was I able to do that for like a very long time, 1.5, 2 years? Then why am I not able to do that right now?
Okay.
Because, and I just realized, before I had an identity, which is I eat well, I don't eat sugar. I used to go on trend people. I don't eat sugar, and I'd say I'd only eat sugar here and there, like periodically, a little bit here and there. But tell people I don't eat sugar. Then slowly it became like, I'm going to eat once in a while. I'm going to eat, and then I'm like eating crap all the day, right, all the time.
So you're saying, I think that's actually it. Identity comes before the skill.
No. Identity comes before the doing, and okay, here's how it works. Identity comes before doing. Doing reinforces identity, and more reinforcement of identity helps you do more of the same thing.
Okay.
It's like you work out for a week, right? Then you feel like, I'll work out for a week. You work out for 6 months. You go from like, oh, I worked out for a week, or I work out every morning, to a guy who's like, I work out all the time. I work out every morning. Right? That's your identity.
Yeah.
And as a result, that came because of you doing a habit.
Yeah, I think we are on the same page.
Same page, yeah. It's a circle. It's a circle, actually.
Yeah. So I think it's more like being creative is not a skill. It's more of an identity. Am I right?
No, being creative is a skill. What, the creative, the verb, or the creative, the noun?
Oh God, no! I'm so confused right now.
Verb is an action. Noun is a person. I'm a creative person. Okay. Yeah, being creative. Then you need to create.
And I don't think creative can be a verb.
Creative. Oh, being creative. No, but in that sentence it's a verb.
You get my point. I'm trying to be very.
Trust me, I skipped a lot of English grammar classes when I was young, but I'm pretty sure in that sentence it was a verb.
That one test you passed.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the thing.
I still don't know what an adjective is.
Really?
Nah.
I don't think I can define it as well.
Actually.
Damn, I don't think I can define it as well.
Right.
So yeah. So my point was, that's the thing. I just stopped being creative, and as soon as I stopped, I didn't stop being creative. I stopped trying to be creative, and I became more observant, and I started doing creative things by itself. I didn't
started doing things and eventually
Yeah.
became creative. Yeah, that's it. It's like Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Sometimes you gotta try.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't.
How is it that every lesson that I thought I came up with by myself, you're explaining like, oh, this was in this book. Yeah, okay, I was about to write one.
I used to give this example. It's a very not. Nah, I don't want to give that example. Right? Kids are listening to this podcast. It's like people going through their lives think that they've invented something. It's not that they've invented something, you've discovered something that other people have already gone through.
Right? Sometimes you might invent something. It's the hope that lets you carry on, Kesh.
It's like you sit on the couch and you place your potato chips on your tummy and you think, or you rest your plate on the tummy and eat, and you think you've invented that. No, you've just discovered that. Way more people have discovered that way before you. You can rest your thing on your tummy well, if you know how to do it. So that is the thing. So fourth lesson is very short. Actually, I've already talked about this, which is do one thing at a time and do it well. Now, I just want to add a practical example to this year, because, this year I focused and finished a 1.5 year long project. We're about to finish this thing. The biggest lesson that I've taken away from that thing is huge results comes from sacrificing and putting other things on hold, which is pretty much what we talked about, and focusing on one thing, like for a while, right? And if you want to do big things, it's gonna take a lot of focus. So do one thing at a time. Don't try to do 10,000 things at a time. I'll sort of go to the fifth one because it's very similar, right? My fifth lesson is this: one habit is better than 12.
Right.
What I mean by that is, when I look back at the start of 2021 and right now and ask myself, have I built any consistent habits that I set out to build? And it was like, except for meditation, maybe, working out, 2 big habits. But instead, but what I did was, the path I took to get there was like so chaotic. I was like trying to do 10 things. It's like 5 habits, 10 habits, 10 changes, 11 changes. if I just focused on one little thing even for the entire year and gotten really bloody good at it, right? I would have actually reaped the rewards of that thing way better than what I'm reaping right now, right? So instead of trying to focus on like way too many habits, way too many goals, just focus on one thing, right? Just focus on one thing. The years are gonna pass anyway,
Yeah.
right? So might as well focus on that thing, get that thing installed, and turn it into an identity, like something that you do, rather than trying to focus on 10 habits, 5 checklist things that I'm gonna do every single day for the next 35 days. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that is the thing. So 4th and 5th are sort of like the same lesson.
So take one step at a time. Is that?
Not one step at a time. Take on one thing at a time.
Oh, it kind of relates to your point about being everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like all my lesson
Kind of
seems like has the same thing, which is Keshav, toughen the hell up, pick that one thing, and go at it for the next year. Instead of trying to be everything. Right? SpongeBob Rainbow. So yeah.
Here's my next one.
Uh-huh.
This one, I think it kind of goes well with this generation, and to be more, I think, show
This
more
generation,
gratitude.
you're part of this generation. What do you mean?
As in to the
Alright.
age we live in now.
Okay.
Wow, I sounded old there, didn't I? I've been trying to sound British. Do you feel it?
Because you watch too many Spider-Man movies. Like
How's that?
Tom Holland.
All right, I watch his interview.
Hello, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Stop calling me sir. All right, Stephen.
No, I just wanted to sound British.
All right, mate. So what do you have there? A bunch of biscuits and tea. All right, so I
That's
think this just pissed off half the people in England right now.
Yeah.
They'll be like, Keshav, stop talking like that, bro. They'll make fun of me back.
Patel from London.
Patel from London. We don't talk like that. You stop shaking your head for everything that you say, okay?
By the way, we can make fun of that because we're the same race.
Even if you're not, I don't care.
What happened to being nice?
I think that's my next lesson. Stop being nice.
Alright, so here's the thing. Wow, my handwriting is so confusing. It confuses me.
Okay.
Alright, if you're not able to move on by yourself,
All right.
life kind of helps you do it. And I felt that in this year a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
I
live
think
life.
it's a good thing
Uh-huh.
because of how well paced everything is. And like the pace that everybody is living in, right?
Right.
At this age and at this time in this year, like with everything that's moving so fast, whether you like it or not, you will learn to adapt. And you don't even sometimes you don't even have to put in effort. Sometimes you just do it. Have you ever felt that?
Nah.
Like being you haven't?
No,
Not just-
nonsense. You just lost me there because I just went daydreaming for a second about the thing that you just said. I don't know why I went there. Yeah, I was all of a sudden.
Let's say like okay, let me try.
I was like, man, my life never does that for me. It doesn't help me unless I move it. It's like a lazy sloth sitting here.
No man, you're by yourself. That's what you learn.
I need to like drag that son of a gun down.
I don't know. Like I think adaptability is such a huge skill for people to learn, right? And you really need to like put an effort to do that.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like with the way things are now, life just helps you like learn by itself. Like if you just live and if you survive, you just learn to do it.
Not unless you actually actively pursue something in a voluntary fashion, is what I feel. Because if you're just in survival mode, you're in a reactionary mode, which works for some people.
I feel like it happens to a majority now.
See, I think reactionary happens regardless of whether you're being voluntary with your thing.
I think your point is right. When you're like really passionate about something and you're a person who's constantly like going after something, right?
Right.
You tend to learn all these skills. I'm talking about the people who just haven't figured out what to do yet or like anything, right? Like myself, there are a few skills that I didn't care about. And with just the way life moved on, I was just able to like learn it.
Okay.
And I don't.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because so many people are going through so much stuff. Like your circle, if you take like one person, he has so much to say.
Right.
You can like literally make anybody do a good podcast if they have good communication skills, because they have so much going on, right, in their lives.
People are telling me that I'm forcing you to do podcasts.
No,
with
no,
me.
it's not. Help me.
Hey, no.
But yeah, I felt that, and I generally felt that a lot. Like I told you today, my friend got a job. Right, and I never. Sorry, I never thought you would
get a job. Yes, he is a friend. He is a nice friend. No, I won't reveal his name. Should I reveal his name?
Not his name. No,
I'm not going to say his name. He's an architect.
He's an architect.
He's legendary in his field.
Yeah.
Because of what he's done in his college.
Yeah, he did this project, built this entire building, and forgot to give an entrance to the building. Nobody can go in, nobody can go out.
Instead of building a house, he built a cremation. A very nice, fancy cremation.
All the constructors are in there.
Nice.
They can never.
The painters. The woodworkers.
So this guy got a job today in the morning, right?
I think his lesson for 2021 would be don't forget doors.
Chill, bro. It's gonna be fine. That'll be his lesson. No, but he's a good guy. He's nice.
He's gonna see this podcast.
I'm gonna make sure he does it. The one person I don't want him to subscribe to this channel. But yeah, like I just saw that he never tried to grow up.
Wait. He said he went into landscape architecture.
Yeah, he
You don't need doors over there. So he's playing to his strengths.
He's actually pretty smart. No doors, I'm in. So yeah, I wouldn't say he never tried to grow up. It's just that there were a lot of things that I saw like, wow, he's not really putting in a lot of effort. But now when I talk to him, I just see that he just learned it without even putting an effort because of just the way we're all in. Like he's in my circle and everything that I'm going through, I like share it with him. And one way or the other, he gets that. I'm not saying I like share my knowledge.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. I think it's not like they don't put effort. They don't put that neurotic effort that what we perceive as effort. You get it? They put effort, but it
doesn't feel like effort to me when I say, what are you doing? Right? Yeah, maybe.
when Sashi, right? When he took up dieting and calorie counting. And he didn't put too much effort into it, but I thought that's what I thought was happening. But he didn't put the neurotic effort that I was putting into. Right. Then he made it a way more consistent habit than I did, right? So I'm like right now, I'm just going to, just not put like a neurotic effort into the thing. I want to put effort. I want to focus on a couple of things. I want to do that right. Yeah. That is,
and I don't want to, mistake this with luck. I'm not trying to say that. It's just the way things are now. I think it's easier to learn. I think it's more about opportunities, about the amount of opportunities we have outside, right? Just to learn. If you want to learn, if you have the eye to learn, you will. You don't need to go. I think that's the point. Yeah.
Well, what's the point?
That I just told you. It's long. I couldn't write it down, but what I wrote down was if you're not able to move on by yourself, life kind of helps you do it.
So the point is there are so many opportunities around you, make use of it.
No, there are so many opportunities around you now.
Okay.
And even if you try to avoid it and you don't put in as much as effort as it is, you kind of tend to learn it by yourself.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I used to think about that.
This is an interesting story. Should I say it about how I got hired here?
Yeah. Go
So this is my story of how I became a video editor in Kesh Studios, right? If you take it, I didn't really put in a lot of effort into video editing, but at the same time, there were so many opportunities. I just learned it out of YouTube, and I had this perfect scenario just to keep it fun. So I was going through this thing where this guy or girl, I don't know who it was, this person started taking my pictures, and he started texting people. Like me.
Right.
And it was such a bad mess.
Oh.
And I was going
impersonation.
Yes, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. And I just wanted to make a video
vocabulary.
out of it. It's not the word I was looking for.
You need more of it. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, go on.
So I couldn't find this person. I didn't know who this was. So my brilliant idea was, I'm gonna make a video about this person, not knowing who it is, and just have fun. Actually reveal whatever he's saying, and then I did that simp video. Remember? I was like, this guy is a simp. Right? And I was actually happy that he can reach out to me saying, how can you say that? Because he can't. And I took that to my advantage. I posted it up on YouTube, and you saw it, and you liked it, and you were like, hey, I like the video editing.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to call this person and be like, thank you for doing that. Now I have a job because of you. And that's how I got hired.
That is good. That is nice. Right?
So you see how life kind of just helped me when I didn't even really try. That's my point.
It's not like you weren't trying. What you're doing is investing your time in different opportunities.
Maybe, yeah.
Cleverly, right? You didn't even know that you were doing it.
Right.
You were investing your time into like different skill sets and opportunities, and you're setting up traps. You're like a fisherman setting up traps in different places. And all you need to do is catch one fish.
No. I kind of lost you. You're a fisherman. What?
You're
no,
like
I got
a fisherman.
I got it.
You're a fisherman. All right. You're a space astronaut trying to catch.
That sounds
aliens.
cooler. But yes, it's just how easy it is for you to find opportunities if you want to.
Yes, especially in this day and age. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I want to do a series of drawings where I want to talk about things we... What was the name of the series? Things we take for granted.
You want to make a video on...
No, a series of drawings. Things we take for granted.
Okay.
Episode 1, light switch.
Oh, you want to draw the things we take for granted?
Take for granted. Cool. Light switch. Phone. Wire. Really, I'm not even kidding. It travels. It transports electricity.
Yeah, but are you sure this is not one of your ways to just get done with an illustration really fast?
No. It is not. Wire it is not because I want to do the series because I feel like there's so many people or people who are like complaining about like, oh, climate change. Yeah, of course, climate change is a problem, or a bunch of huge big things. Completely disregard or do not put things in perspective. Put things in a historical way. They're so keen on pointing out the problems that are there today that they completely see that those problems need to exist because of the progress that we have made. It's like Praveen Srinivas decides to get healthy in 2022 and starts working out every single morning for 1.5 hours, right? And he's gotten really fit. He's had so much wellness and health in him, and he's feeling really good mentally and physically. But that comes at a cost. He's paying 60 rupees for gas every morning, right? Or he's losing that 10 minutes of conversation that he's having with his dad, right? And what I'm saying is the upside beats the downside, right? That 60 rupees of gas beats the downside. So all the big problems that people are sort of pointing out to, the downside beats the upside. What they're thinking is, it's like the lesson which we learned. They're looking for a perfect path. Right. They're looking for a perfect path, but what they need to realize is there's no such thing called perfect path. Everything's gonna come with its own downsides. Right? They're thinking that renewable energy is going to solve climate change. It's like, nope. Good luck with that. Right? I mean, like, yeah, why am I going into that?
But you want to do that.
I want to tell people that it's amazing that you can actually fly 200 miles from here in a span of what, 1.5 hours? Yeah, right.
I don't really.
You can literally go from one freaking continent to another continent in like 78 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In 3 freaking days. Now, why do people not? People realize that, people understand that. Oh, that's awesome. But they don't have the experience of not having being able to do that, which is, or they have not gone through the thing that would have actually needed to actually make that thing possible. Meaning, they would have not lived 200 years ago, where you have to travel by ship, which is where you could die, and to take a year-long expedition because it's not a flight. Oh, I'm going to get a flight to New York. I'm going to do that. No, buddy, you're going to die, right? And it's like another thing. Like, you get a fever right now. It's normal.
Yeah.
You're not going to die.
Yeah.
You're not going to die tomorrow.
Right. They're seen as luxuries more than a huge advancement.
No, everything has become a basic right. People are so focused on rights, they've forgotten responsibilities, and they've completely. I'm not saying there are no problems right now. I'm just saying, put it into perspective. The problems will become a lot smaller, right? It's like that.
Yeah, I think, and when you say that, people tend to think like, oh, but it's a big problem. I think the reason you want to see it as a small problem is because it helps you create a solution better. I think because most of the times when you're like, the problems are smaller, they're like, no, it's actually, that's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty big.
Some problems are big, right? Some problems are big. But you just need to put everything into perspective so that you need to know whether you're making it big or if the problem is actually big.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Right? That is very, very important.
Yeah.
That is very, very important.
So do you want to show more gratitude towards things?
Gratitude towards the things that we have. Like that's amazing, right?
Maybe we should say like 2 things that you were gratitude about by the end of every podcast episode. I don't know.
Yeah, I do this every morning actually.
You do?
Yeah, that's helped me weirdly.
Oh.
I try to write down like 3 things that I'm grateful for every single morning.
Oh, that's nice.
Like one thing that often comes up, like grateful for my team of people, right? I get to work with you guys. You guys have made my life a lot easier.
You are?
No, I'm kidding. Especially, I'm grateful for you guys in such a way that you're not like cut and throat. Oh, it's my job. I'm going to come here and do my thing and leave. You like go way above and beyond because it means to you, it's not just a job, it's a skill that you're developing. It's paying you money. You're working towards something meaningful.
Yeah.
This could actually open up different opportunities. So because of all that and set up in the right way, you're going above and beyond what I've asked you for.
True. Yeah.
Right? So I think about that all the time. Oh, it's so nice to have couple around. That guy.
What a character.
Right? Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. But the reason why I'm doing that exercise is this, right? It actually helps me see the upsides in life.
Right. Yeah. No,
Rather
I
than
was thinking,
seeing all the
you have to
downsides.
come up with 3 things to be, show gratitude towards.
It sucks most morning. Trust me, you can't come up with 3 things all
Really?
the freaking time. Yeah. But it always trains you to look at half glass full instead of looking at half glass empty. That's why I like to call myself an opportunist. And people see, no, he's an opportunist. Not like in wrong, unethical, immoral way, right? Opportunist in the sense, I look at an opportunity and I see the opportunity rather than. I was thinking about it, once I thought I wanted to do this experiment, like for like 30 days or 40 days or so, I'm going to give up all my money and my luxuries and everything, go out on the streets with just a phone, and start from scratch, try to make a living, try to get a house and try to do this thing. And I was thinking, okay, if I cannot use my drawing skills, if I cannot use this thing, what would I do for money? Right? Then I realized I'm good at communication, right? I can speak, I can talk, I can sell, and I can do all these things. And these things I learned them for free by simply interacting with other people and with internet, with the internet, right? Then I was like coming across yesterday, I was driving by a toll booth, then I saw like a signboard for toll workers wanted. 239 toll workers wanted.
No.
right? And what they're gonna pay a little, and I know exactly what I would do. Like I'll go for the job, I'll work on that thing, take that money, invest it into something else, then do that.
Right.
I know. So the point I was trying to make is like most people don't have the resources that they want, the money, the thing, the stuff. It's because they chose to be there. And I'm saying that in the most empathetical way possible. I understand because it's not an easy choice to make, to say and go and do the thing, right? Because I want to show that like most people don't have money, because I grew up sort of not poor, yeah, lower middle class, very struggling, yeah, right. So and I'd always think, did I come up where I am because of certain privileges that I had, or I came up because of sheer effort and things? Could be a mix of both, right? But the point I'm trying to do is if I can do it, most people can do it. You just need to invest in right skills. And 99% of the people in India have an access to phone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
so like internet is super cheap. I think even compared to other countries, it's like really cheap here.
Yeah. India has the cheapest internet. Like most people can actually go online, learn a skill, get paid. 90, okay, Shiv, you're just being so optimistic. It's not that real. No. I'm not being optimistic. I'm being realistic. I'm being super realistic. You're just being pessimistic. That's it. Not even pessimistic. You're being unrealistic because you don't know what realism is, right? If you give me, I can literally, because I've done this and I'm able to see this, and I'm just seeing what someone who doesn't have money need to do. They need to build up skills.
Yeah. And a good communication skill and a good attitude can take you a long way.
Yes.
Just those two things.
Negotiate.
Yeah.
Learn to negotiate. Learn to negotiate your thing. That's what we learn from playing Monopoly all the freaking times. Right? We learn to negotiate, learn to speak well, learn to sell, learn to work more than what you're paid for. Always improve your craft. Man, if you're doing these things, there's no way you're going to be like broke in like 5 years. There's no way. You're going to be making good money if you're doing these things consistently. You don't have to be perfect about it, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Because I see a lot of people always complaining, I don't have the money. Oh, you have rich parents. No, I don't have rich parents.
You don't know my life.
Parents. Yeah. People make assumptions all the bloody time, right? And I also sort of do that. Sort of goes both ways. Yeah.
No, trust me, like I'm pretty sure someone out there on the other side of the screen is probably saying, you're doing the same thing right now. You're saying I have the opportunity.
I see that. See, that's the thing. I understand that people make assumptions, and I also understand that I do that as well. So I'm willing to see the flaws in myself, which the thing is most people are not willing to see the flaws in themselves. They think that they are perfect. They assume they're perfect. They assume that they are good. Oh, why are you good? Because I've not done any bad things. No. You've not been given any opportunities to do bad things. Just because you didn't do bad things doesn't mean you're good. You just... This is what I love, right? Jordan Peterson, he says that why would you think that during the Nazi era that you wouldn't be a Nazi? Are you that good of a person? Are you that morally and ethically right? It's like that level of brainwashing could brainwash a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a lot of self-awareness to actually... Most people think that they would be the neighbor who would have helped Anne Frank. You don't even talk to your current neighbor, let alone put your life online to save that little girl who lives across the street. No, you wouldn't do that. Would you risk your entire family being hung? No, you wouldn't do that. It takes a sense of courage, right? And if you do that after realizing that, then I'd say, man, you're one courageous, good person. But without putting yourself through that test, see, that's what... one of the lessons, right? You are not who you think you are. I used to think that I'm this virtuous, moral, courageous, great, always action-oriented, super, super good person. Yeah. Then I grew up. Realized that I had something called flaws. It's like, Keshav, wait a second, you're not perfect? What?
Seems like you used to be really narcissistic.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not perfect. What do you mean?
I used to think I'm Superman, you know.
Tell me about it. You're talking to the other Superman.
What is it with a bunch of Indian weak Twinkie brown kids thinking that they're Superman? And yeah, I know kids want to be Superman. That's the thing.
Yeah. I think this is a right time for me to like actually talk about the last thing I want to talk to you
that's
about.
what I want to end with. What is it?
What's the last thing? My handwriting. Oh God, my handwriting.
Wait, which last thing? Being nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that? Being nice is the last thing I want to talk about.
Don't be nice. What do I mean by that is Gary Vee has put up a post saying that most people say being nice is not a good thing and only nice guys finish last. No. In this personal experience, being nice is a very important factor for success in life. I agree with that. But what people mean when they say nice guys finish last or nice gals finish last is naive people finish last. Right? Naive, ignorant people who assume that their existence is automatically good because they have not been done anything bad, right? They assume, it's for them. It's for them, right? So when you need to be nice to people, obviously, right? You need to be nice to people, but don't be a pushover. Right? Don't be a pushover. Because if you're a pushover, you're very agreeable. If you're very agreeable, you say yes to a lot of things when you're supposed to say no to.
Yeah.
Right? That's what people say, being nice. Don't be afraid to ruffle little feathers here and there.
Yeah.
Right? Don't ruffle too much of feathers.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it.
What do you mean by just wrote being nice? You didn't say.
I just want to talk about that whole thing because I don't know. I generally, even the whole thing about like, no, you have to be nice to other people. Now I'm even starting to contemplate that.
No, you should be nice to people. See, if you're like a naturally too nice of a person and that's debilitating or affecting certain things in your life, then slightly push in the opposite direction. If you're too unnice, or not, that's a word, you're too being an, right? And you want to, you might want to push on the other direction, sort of like balance. If you're a loud talking person, and it's like affecting a lot of other people, slightly lower your voice. If you're like talking, then you're being too soft. Toughen the hell up and just speak a bit louder, right? Balance. Counterbalance. No, not even balance. Counterbalance.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just there's
what do you think?
I don't know. I forgot the point I had in my head.
Because I was talking all the time.
I don't know. Keep going. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when it goes.
I used to be a nice guy. Now I was too nice. It's good to be nice, but not to a level where it's detrimental to your own existence.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've kind of lost sight of being like, okay, what are you? I'm nice at certain situations,
right?
And trust me when I say this, it's out of like no expectations. It's just I think the way I speak and everything, like even with my voice tone, right? It's just I'm perceived to be a nice guy. Like it's most of the times I don't come off rude. Mostly.
Yeah.
And with a personal intention saying, hey, I want to be nice to people, I tend to be nice. And now when I think about it, I'm like, am I really being nice? Or is it just because, like you said, the whole thing of like, just because you didn't have an opportunity to do something wrong? And that comes off more often now. I think so.
That is probably.
And sometimes I feel like I really shouldn't be nice. So that...
Yeah, no. Look, I get it. Listen, I think it's a problem with our age. We're like practicing right now. We're practicing saying no. We're even when we were talking about like what's our upsides and downsides are.
Yeah.
And I was looking at you, and you were about to say a couple of things about me. Then you stopped. Then I noticed that he's being too nice right there. Another thing, you know, people have different phases when they're talking to different people.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, sometimes it's like, oh, they put on a front with, oh, my cousin does that. Oh God, she turns into a completely different person when she's talking to someone new. It's like this professional. She's like, you know, this corporate. She's like, then when she's, you know, when she's used to you, then it's a different thing. I'm not saying it's bad, right? It shouldn't be authentic all the time. It's like, that's another push that people try to do. It's like, you need to be the same with every people. No. When in Rome, be a Roman. I don't know. The nice part. Nice guys do finish last. That is so true.
It is.
And what I mean by nice is not what you think it is. Right? When I say nice, people think being good to someone is not nice. No, what was I supposed to say? They think that it's like, oh, if you're not nice, then you should be like a complete a-hole on the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
It's like, be respectful, be good, be nice, but not too nice. Yeah. It's the part of that nicety comes from not having experienced enough hardships, what I think. Or not having enough experience in general, I think, which we all young folks sort of go through, right? I mean, we haven't gone through certain things. I see certain people, old people, right? I'm able to see these days, man. I see certain men, certain women, but most of the time it's been men. I see their eyes, and I see certain people's eyes, and I can go, this guy has gone through some stuff. Right, this guy has seen things. Oh yeah, he has lost the nicety.
Wait, okay.
Right? No, I'm not looking at you.
Right, like you just gave me the stare. I was like, am I supposed to say something?
I don't know. I'm looking at you. That's why, like, when I look at couple, it's like, he needs to see a lot of things.
Oh, he does need to see. Let's not go there.
No. He needs to experience a lot of things, right? And weirdly, a lot of people who are older than me, who are more experienced than me, look at me and sort of see that in me, because I do need to go through a lot of things, because they've gone through a lot of things. It's like I'm able to slightly experience a less naive person or more naive person than I am in other people. There are people who can even sense the naivety in me, right? But that is something very attractive about that, right? Which is what I find very attractive. Man, this guy has been through hardships. I want to have that, right?
Right.
I want that. That's why we like superheroes, because they go through stuff, right? And we're like, I want to be like that.
Right.
Do you not have that?
I do have that. It's just what frightens me now by the end of this year is that I've started to incline over actually stop being nice at certain moments. I have that in my
certain
head.
Moments, yeah.
Yeah, I have that in my head constantly. Do not try to, because sometimes it and you know what actually frightened me? It's the fact that once I started doing that, things were actually starting to get better. Like, you know, in every aspect, like getting shows, negotiations. Rather than me trying to empathize with their side and okay, this is a small organization, all that, just being straightforward with stuff, right?
I don't know. See, I think that there is a balance to that. So first you're too nice, then you're an a-hole, right? Then comes a point where you realize that both are not the way. Then you need to find a middle ground.
Right.
Where it's like my definition of a good person. A good person is not a weak person, right? A good person is not a naive person. A good person is a very strong person who's capable of the same level of violence as the other guy, but chooses not to do that, right? If you don't look at you look at Captain America and say, man, that guy's a good guy, right? He can use his powers to do bad things, but he doesn't do that, right? Yeah. But that's a very childish example. I need to grow up.
Hence, proving your own point.
Jeez, this guy is talking about superheroes.
But I think that's one thing I will take from this year. Like, actually stop giving second chances to a lot of people. You know, like, I don't know. And actually stop being nice. Like, be conscious about that. And to be honest, people tend to kind of deserve it.
People tend to what?
That's how tend to actually understand
Uh-huh.
and actually start being nicer when they actually taste their own medicine, I guess. In a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You know, I'm not trying to say,
yes.
start being rude, but
No, really, yeah.
not everybody deserves a second chance. Like normal interactions with people, right?
It's not up to us to decide who deserves what.
See, that makes you nice.
That doesn't make me nice.
You shouldn't think about it too much. You should just trust me, man.
No, it
Things have
makes
been
me
so much better.
responsible of my own actions. In a sense that I don't get to deserve. I don't get to say I'm not going to give you another second chance. That is different. I'm saying I might not give you a second chance, but that's not the same as saying you don't deserve a second chance. You might deserve a second chance. Just that I'm not going to give it to you.
True, yeah. I'm just talking completely from like our side of, not like, obviously. You're trying to get me
What are
beat
you
up.
laughing about? I don't get it.
No, it's just I generally want to take that from this year, and I feel like I don't know. I see all of us, and I'm like, wow.
You need to push in the other direction slightly, but beware of being too unnice, right? Dwayne Johnson said that like it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Because that guy wasn't nice at start, right? So he's pushed to the other direction. That advice sort of works for him. For most people, you need to toughen the hell up and just stop being nice.
Sure.
Too nice. Yeah.
I think I'm kind of going in a route where I want to be completely to a point where I'm okay with not being nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm in that situation where I'm like, okay, now I really don't give a damn about anybody. And at that moment when I choose to be nice, I generally know and I generally tell myself, okay, I did that because I wanted to be nice without any expectations. With everything that's going on, I feel like, wow, maybe I'm being nice because I don't have the opportunity to be bad, which was your point, right? I think that's where I'm going for right now, to be honest.
And then one last thing, I think that's like the second stage. First, I feel like I'm sort of going full circle, which is first I was too nice. Then I stopped being too much of like an upfront person with everybody. That got me into a lot of trouble.
Okay.
And then I started empathizing with other people's problems. Then I realized that I just have just as much as flaws as the other guy I'm pointing out to. And then it sort of comes to a point where you have the capabilities to be not nice, but yet you choose to be because you know when to do what and how to be when. Damn, that was nice.
Good flow there.
Yeah, right. And you know how nice you should be in certain situations, right? And then that's sort of like you start empathizing with people. It's like I empathize with people who don't work out, who are overweight, like because I see the struggle. I understand. Right, I empathize with people who are like broke and who are trying to start their business and who are not able to get where they are or where they want to be. Right, because it's tough. It is tough, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, or doesn't mean that I'm going to tell you, hey, you know what? Yeah, it's all right. It's going to be fine. No. Go do it. Right. I don't know. I give too much advice. I just need to stop listening to myself and start listening to...
we're back at the first point, overthinking.
Anyways, that is it. Right? Yeah, that's it for this year's podcast. The last episode. Damn, that was nice.
Happy New Year to everyone, I guess.
You know what? I want to be not nice. That podcast was not nice.
No, that's not what I meant.
It was a good podcast. That was a very long podcast, but a good podcast. Good.
What's one thing you want to say at the end of the year?
Instead of saying, what's the one thing that you want to do next year that could completely...
You want to go with your resolution?
Not a resolution. What do you think? Maybe all the people who have listening to this till this point can write it down in the comment section, which is a question that they can use. What is one thing that you could do next year, or what you could change next year, or which you could put a lot of effort into, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that one thing, you're going to put a lot of effort into making that thing work. If you do that, everything will be easier and you're going to get 80% of the results. 80% of the results that you want, if you just simply, consistently do one thing. Just that one thing. Consistently do that. You focus on that. You're zoned in on that.
I have nothing on my head right now.
I've thought about this.
What about you?
About this. It is very simple. Yeah, Sashi thought. True. Actually, even my thing is very simple. Actually, next year I've made it a thing that I'm just gonna focus on. If I were to focus on just one main important thing that would get me 80%, right? It's going to bed at 10 to 11 a.m. 11 p.m. So not a.m.
You seem like a very productive person.
I'll wake up at 2 o'clock, go to bed at 11 a.m.
Roam around till I go to bed.
just mess that part up. No, it's going to bed at somewhere between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. And really focus on working out. Make working out, because when I made the habit and the change of working out in college, it just revolutionized my life, right? It was that one thing, right? I do have a slightly secondary light thing, but that sort of goes away from the principle. If I had to just focus on things, these two things, the third thing would be tracking food that I eat and just eating normally is what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because I should probably start waking up early. I guess maybe small things like that.
Yeah. I think if you focus on, there is a video called going to bed at 10 p.m. every day for 30 days on YouTube by this guy called Wheezy Waiter. Okay. I love his stuff, and it was once you go to bed early, you wake up early, you have so much time, you do something, and therefore, because you've worked out, you're like, I might as well eat well today. And maybe then you ate well, you'll feel better. Because you felt better, you'll do better work. It's like a compound effect. Right? It's a compounding thing. So that is my one thing. We'll discuss about our one thing maybe later in the story. Yeah. We'll all have one thing. Sashi, you want to know one thing? What is your one thing? Terla. He needs to. Couple, you have one thing?
Learn 3D animation.
Right, see, yeah. Actually, it's not just about focusing on one thing. I think it's about taking that thing, just zoning in on it, putting 99% effort instead of putting half-assed effort here and there, right? It's putting a lot of effort into it.
I think my one thing can be, I want to take the tag of being a cover artist off me. And actually start being an artist and actually just start making my own projects more than covers.
If you had to be even more specific about it, what would you do?
Maybe just release my first song. It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good one thing.
Yeah.
So, yep, that is it. Write down your one thing down below in the comments. That is it for this year's. Year is almost gone. I'll see you guys next year.
Don't say it like that. And in a positive note.
The year is almost gone.
A new year is coming.
A new year is coming. Don't worry, it will be way better than 2020. I just gonna end this off with a meme. The year 2022 is pronounced as 2022. Part 2 coming soon. Get your booster packs, booster vaccines in. Get your double boosters, triple boosters, dragon boosters, all kinds of boosters. Ultimate booster, Superman booster. Anyways, drawing camp. Yeah, it's closing Jan 6, 2022. Sign up.
Also, sign up for our newsletter if you want
Yeah.
exclusive clips.
Exclusive videos. We will, every video that we're gonna put out, it's gonna be first going to our newsletter people, and then comes on YouTube because we're like that.
Because you're special.
Bye bye.
Bye.